Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's me again. Someday it'll be somebody else, but for now it's going to be me. Okay? So, yeah, that's how reality goes. Yeah. Anywho, I had the misfortune of stumbling upon yet another of the really dumb videos by one Almando Calvo, also known as Christ Righteous, in which he makes a fool of himself again, as usual. He's good at that. With his bizarre caricature of what he calls the atheist, which I think is a feeble attempt to imitate Richard Dawkins, while at the same time putting into Mr. Dawkins' mouth words that Dawkins himself would never have spoken. And Calvo has, again, mischaracterized atheists and atheism, and demonstrated his abysmal ignorance of even the most basic cosmology. So, Mr. Calvo, Mr. Almando Calvo, you're really not very good at discussion, I've noticed. You're also not really good at basic honesty. You're not really good at doing your research before you make your claims. And you're not very good at, well, getting anything right. I'm going to explain this. There has never been a single person who has arrived at atheism via, I don't like it. I just don't like it. Not one. Not a single one. Zero. Big fat zero. Big fat zero. Yeah. 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 So, your insistence repeatedly that we arrive at atheism because we just don't like it is nonsense. The idea that we've never tried Jesus is equally nonsensical. Most of us are ex-Christians. Yeah, we tried Jesus. Many of us bashed our own faces into the church floor over and over and over again, begging Jesus to show himself, to reveal himself, to help us with something. And ultimately what we got was silence. Many of us studied the history of Christianity, the history of Christian doctrine, how Christian doctrine was decided, and how it was subsequently edited and amended to meet the needs of another generation of kings and warlords and emperors and popes. So no, the Christianity that you are practicing in particular, which is American Christian fundamentalism, is not the original Christianity. It's far from it. It is literally a 20th century version of a 19th century version of an 18th century version of the ravings of itinerant preachers who had no theological background and had only the vaguest memory of the Bible verses that they had memorized from childhood. Who created their own form of Christianity, which rested firmly on a foundation of pure bullshit. See, the ideological nonsense that you spew can't even be traced to Christian sources. Can't. make matters worse, your grotesque misportrayal and disportrayal of atheists and atheism only serves to expose your ignorance, not only of atheism, but of Christianity itself. Yeah, something to think about. Something to think about long and hard. But so here's my suggestion, Mr. Calvo. Read a few books on the matters that you are discussing. I would strongly recommend, since you're trying to play cosmology, that you read some Stephen Hawking. And since you're also trying to attack evolution, I would recommend that you read Steve Jones, Almost Like a Whale, and possibly some Zimmer, At the Water's Edge. Yeah. Carl Zimmer. Brilliant man. Yeah. And if you're going to attack atheists and atheism, I suggest that you actually learn what we actually think. Learn what we think, what we feel, what we believe, and learn why we think it, why we feel it, why we believe it. Instead of making up this bullshit, which only serves to make you look foolish. Do that. Do that and learn from your mistakes. And then don't make those mistakes again. Because repeating the same mistake over and over again, expecting a different result, that's called insanity. And you don't want to be considered to be insane, do you? Oh, it's a beautiful morning. -4. No real wind. And I have the day off, so I'm going to do some laundry. You should probably do some laundry too, because I've noticed in your videos you look like you've been picking your clothes out of a garbage pile. Come to think of it, those hideous Christmas lights hanging from a bare wall, get some posters. Get some posters, maybe some good rock and roll posters. Maybe a Beatles poster. Put that up on the wall behind where you do your videos. Get yourself a background that's worthy of the name. And yeah, drop the "I just don't like it" routine, okay? Just drop that entirely, because nobody's impressed. Nobody. Okay then. Oh, by the way, Logic is really going out of his way to try to be nice to you. Aaron Ra would have probably skinned you alive, nailed your hide to a barn wall, used it for target practice, and then put it back onto you inside out and backwards and sent you home with a butt plug shoved up into you. Yeah, because Aaron is one of those crazy motherfucking Texans. Look him up. And have a nice day.